Alright, hello and welcome to your 5th Selenium tutorial, I believe. I'm trying to keep these shorter, so I'm just going to talk about one more keyword again this time. This time it's going to be the filter keyword, which what this does is it takes a given list and it filters it by this function. So if we have these numbers and they're less than 100, so what we want to do is we want to get all of the even numbers. How do you do that? Well, there are several easy ways to do that. One of them is just generate a list of even numbers less than 100, like that. But that's no fun, because that's way too convenient, and you can't do that for some other things. And I'll show you a more complicated task we can do here in a second. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a function that checks if the number is even. And we want to change this back so that like they're not all even, because then we don't know if we've actually done anything. So anyway, we want to create a function. I'm just going to use y again, because y, I just generally use x and y, it just seems right. So what there's an operator, it's called a modulus operator, which takes a number, divides it by the second number. It's like division, except for instead of returning the quotient, it returns the remainder. So if you divide any number by 2, that means you either get a remainder of 1 or a remainder of 0. If you get a remainder of 0, then you know it's an even number. If you get a remainder of 1, then you know it's an odd number. So what we're going to do is we're just going to check if this remainder is 0. And then if you look at this, it does work. So when you're checking things to be a value, you use two equal signs. So if I write y mod 2, which is how you would say that, y mod 2 equals 0, which you can also read as y mod 2 equals 0, or if y is even, then this expression will evaluate to 1. So I'm going to demonstrate how that works now, like this. So if I have 10, you'll notice it evaluates to 1, but if I have 9, it evaluates to 0. What filter does is it goes through every element, and then it checks, does this expression evaluate to 1? If it does evaluate to 1, it keeps it. If it evaluates to 0, it removes it. So that's what that does. Now, there's a slightly more complicated one that you can't simply solve by just generating a list of the correct kind like you could there, which is faster. You should do that instead, because it's, faster. Actually, I don't know how much faster it is, but I believe it is a little bit faster. Anyway, what we're going to do instead this time is we're going to get all the prime numbers. And luckily, you don't actually have to do anything. You just sort of type is prime, and it'll get the prime numbers for you. Because is prime is a built-in function that determines if a number is prime. So if I write x.isPrime and then I enter some number, it will tell me this is a prime number. Obviously, it doesn't have to do much checking if it's an even number. But if I do something larger like that, another reason why it does these so quickly is because it does have 600,000 prime numbers memorized, essentially. So if it's less than this limit, then it pretty much knows all the, not pretty much, it does know all the prime numbers less than this limit, obviously. So if you give it a prime number less than that, then it doesn't take very long. If you have a prime number longer than that, it could take a while. It just kind of depends. But anyway, that's going to be it for this tutorial, really. So thanks for watching, and